Let's talk about the breakdown of the story of Amy Bradley, who's been missing for almost 3 decades now. So she went missing back in March of 1998 when she was on vacation with her family on a cruise that was en route from Aruba to Curacao in the Caribbean. So they're on their way to Curacao. That evening, she had spent time with her family for dinner. They then went and attended late that night a event that the cruise was doing. It was a dance party. She was having a good time. Lots of people were interested in her. As you can see, she was a very beautiful young lady. She had a lot of people probably hitting on her, and she's 23 years old. She was an athlete. She had a very athletic build. She was very physically fit. And the way her family described her, like, as beautiful as she was on the outside, she was just as beautiful on the inside as well. So she's having a good time. So this is what we last know. So her brother was out on the balcony with her. I think they had mentioned they'd smoked a cigarette, and then he's like, I'm going to bed, I'm gonna get a little bit of sleep. They were talking about plans for the next day, just what they were gonna do, with the rest of their vacation. And he said that Amy wanted to stay out on the balcony. She said, I don't really feel that great. I think I'm gonna stay on the balcony. So she did. He said he walks in, he goes to bed. His father then wakes up around 5:30 a.m., notices she's not in the cabin, looks out on the balcony, and he can see that she's laying in the chair out on the balcony. He then awakens again around 6 o'clock a.m. because he went back to sleep after he seen everybody's okay. Everybody's here, everybody's okay, I'm good. Dad's good to go. So Dad then goes back to sleep. He then wakes up. He said, something woke me up. He said, I don't know what. He don't know if he heard something or what happened, but he woke up and he decided he didn't see Amy. He's still back in the room. He looked out the cabin because, if you've been on a cruise, they're not very big. A lot of these cabins are teeny tiny, teeny tiny. So, he looks back out onto the balcony and she's not there then, like 30 minutes. So it was crazy. Okay, then we've got reported sightings. After she's went missing, the family is going crazy. They do this, search of the cruise ship. They find no evidence of her. The FBI got involved from other field offices in local places that were near the Caribbean. Curacao law enforcement got involved because she went missing, and they had believed that she fell overboard. That's still a theory. It's still a theory that she went overboard, but she was a good swimmer, so that was kind of one that they're like, and there would have been something would have washed up. That's what every person in that documentary kept stating from Curacao is something would have washed up. Like, I know these waters well enough to know that we would find something. They found nothing. So here's some of the reported sightings. March of 98. Now again, this is the same month that she went missing. Passenger reported seeing Amy exit the ship elevator towards the upper deck holding cigarettes and a lighter near the time she disappeared. August of 98. So fast forward months later. 2 Canadian tourists in Curacao claimed they saw a woman with tattoos matching Amy's, because she had like this Tasmanian devil. That's what I remember so much from this years ago, watching this on Dateline or 2020. I can't remember what I watched it on. And so anyways, they said that the person appeared distressed and was in the company of 2 men. Many people have identified in some of these sightings, some of the men that were with her, they identify that same band member, Yellow, his nickname Yellow, as the person they saw with her. So that's another thing too. But in January of 99, a U.S. Navy petty officer said he encountered a woman in a Curacao brothel, who identified herself as Amy and begged for help. He reported it only years later. He had stated he didn't report it because he was afraid. He said he was somewhere he shouldn't have been, and he was in the military, and he would have gotten in big trouble. And he said he had been told so many stories and so on and so forth, and it's like, man, why did you not just help this girl? Like, who cares? how much trouble you get in for being somewhere you're not supposed to be. I'm pretty sure they'd probably okay it, considering if you just saved a woman's life from that had been, you know, HT'd, just saying. But you can't blame him. He was young, and this was years ago. I mean, what do you do about it now? Again, crew involvement is one of the main, you know, theories that has really went on. And Amy was last seen dancing with Yellow, or Alistair Douglas, a member of the ship's band, the night before she vanished. Though Douglas passed a polygraph test, allegations remain. Other crew members reportedly approached her and tried to steer her off the cruise ship. So there, like I said, there was a lot of things that just didn't make sense. Again, the abduction, or HT, the family believes this because of the sightings, because of the other pictures. Many investigators believe foul play is highly plausible. They point to suspicious crew behavior, missing cruise photos. Oh, that was another weird thing. So, you know, if you've been on a cruise, a lot of time, back years ago, I'm assuming they still do. I haven't been on a cruise in a few years, but they used to always have people that would take these pictures, especially when people were like in their formal wear or whatever. I've got pictures with me and my family from cruises in formal wear. And when they went to go get their pictures, because like you go to where the photographer is set up, they usually have them on a wall, and then you pick them and then you buy them, and they're outrageous just like anywhere else. They go to look for their photos, and do you know all the pictures of Amy were gone? Somebody had took them, like a whole box full of pictures of Amy. That was very weird. I will say that too. And again, I don't want to like ruin anything for the documentary that anyone's wanting to watch, because there's plenty that I'm not going over. But they pointed to suspicious crew behavior, her presence on shore with strangers before passengers disembarked. Some believe that she may have been, you know, HT. And then the accidental fall, or, you know, intentional fall. Initially, authorities speculated that she fell overboard, you know, or had decided to hurt herself, but her strong swimming ability, lack of mental health issues, and missing items make this theory less likely. So, more likely is she was HT. The photos you see there beside of her come from an adult site many years ago. Those photos have been analyzed, and they do believe that that's Amy in those photos. So HT is a good possibility. So again, I'm just glad seeing, and you know, as you can see here too, if you want to zoom in, you're welcome to. The FBI has put out age progressed photos of what Amy may look like, but you got to bear in mind too that if Amy was or has been involved in what could possibly have been occurring with HT, she may not look anything like those age progress. You know what I mean? Like if substances have been introduced to her, there's just a lot of things, but it gives us an idea, because like I said, this was literally almost 30 years ago. So she would look surprisingly different. There has not been any sightings since the earlier 2000s. To my knowledge, they didn't mention any like newer sightings of her or anything like that. So if you have any information, there are rewards out there. I know there's like one that's a $25,000 reward, but there was also like a $250 at one point. I'm not really sure exactly what the rewards are, but to me it wouldn't matter. Just do the right thing and help bring some closure to this, to what has happened. If she's no longer with us, let the family know that. Like they have suffered greatly. My heart breaks for them. Continue to pray for their family, because even though it's been almost 30 years, you can tell this is still very hard on their family. This has been something that, you know, they have a resilient family. That they're making it through it, but at the same time, it's also devastated them and caused them, so much pain over the years. So make sure you hit that follow button for more information, and let me know in the comments below. And make sure you use those TT words, but what do you think happened to Amy Bradley?